Today is April 26, 2023. My name is Rob Carr of Kalamazoo Right to Life, and this is Pro-Life Week. Well, a few things today, just a few. First, in South Carolina, new legislation is moving through the State House that, if it does pass, would make South Carolina the 16th state in the country to basically ban all or most abortions. Since they're from consumption. I've mentioned before, we're living in this post-Dobbs world where state lawmakers are calling the shots, whether it's to pass pro-life laws in the red states or pro-abortion laws in the blue states. But this situation in South Carolina is not a done deal. It did pass convincingly, smooth sailing in the state house. The vote was 83-31. I mean, that's a real strong pro-life vote. But in the state senate, there are 30 Republican state senators, and there's only about 10 or 12 Democrats. But unfortunately, when the vote was taken for like a second reading for the bill a few days ago, the vote was 21. Well, it was 22-21. So like 8 Republicans crossed the aisle and voted with their pro-abortion Democrats. So that's quite disturbing. And I don't know all the details about why those 8 were bucking their own party. Because let's face it, the Republican Party in general is the pro-life party, just as is the Democratic Party the party of death, the party of killing, the party of killing babies. So I don't know all the ins and outs of why those 8 voted the way they did, but I'm hoping and I'm believing that when the dust finally settles, that South Carolina will have a new law, a new pro-life law on the books. Okay. I saw too this morning that Planned Parenthood released its 2022 annual report, and there are no surprises with Planned Parenthood. There are no surprises. Last year, Planned Parenthood performed 374,155 abortions. Now that's up about 20,000 over the previous year. And I know it's a trend we've been seeing for years and years, where every year Planned Parenthood performs more abortions, and every year the percentage that of abortions that are done specifically by Planned Parenthood continues to grow. I mean, I remember several years ago it was like 35%. Well, now it is 40% of all abortions performed in the United States are done at a Planned Parenthood abortion facility. Also, an examination of the data shows there's a consistent long-term trend of, like I said, of performing more abortions, but at the same time providing fewer health services. While abortions have increased 75% in the last 2 decades, that's for Planned Parenthood. Prenatal services have declined 60% during the same time period. Prenatal services have declined. Miscarriage carries down 5%. Adoption referrals fell 7%. Now, 7% doesn't sound like a lot, but the number of adoption referrals that Planned Parenthood performs is the wrong word, facilitates, is about less than 15,000 a year. I mean, it's a very few number of abortion referrals, and it just continues to drop. I mean, adoption is just not in their radar. They just don't really have a zeal, a heart, a compassion for finding homes for adoptive kids. They just don't do it. Pregnancy tests even fell 4%. So, it's a situation I don't think I mentioned, Planned Parenthood every year seems to be getting more and more money from the federal government. And last year they received $670 million in government grants and reimbursements. So, I mean, they are the abortion giant. And even though they pretend to say that, that, you know, 95% of all the tests they do or procedures they do are unrelated to abortion. I mean, let's face the fact that abortion provides Planned Parenthood most of its money. Most of its money. Okay. Last item. In the news yesterday, old Joe Biden, our dear president, announced that he's running for re-election. No surprise here. I mean, I don't really know what to make of President Biden. He's a sick man. He's sick in his mind. He's sick in his soul, and he's sick in his heart. And I'm much more worried about the state of his soul than I am about the state of his heart or his health, because where he spent eternity is far more important than which cemetery I'm going to spend the rest of my life in. He is by far the most pro-abortion president in U.S. history. At one time, I thought it was Barack Obama, but when you add some of Biden's policies along with some of their transgender policies of biological men competing in sports, biological men disrobing in girls' locker rooms, things like that are totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. When you add that whole transgender craziness along with his pro-abortion zealotry that borders on insanity, that he is so in love with the abortion industry. He is so enamored with the right of women or of doctors to kill unborn babies for no reason at all. He just loves it. I hate to admit it, but he loves it. He thirsts for the blood of innocent unborn babies. And for that, he is going to face the judgment of God. He is going to face the judgment of God. And it's not just the transgender and the abortion, but you put them together and their denial of basic biology, basic science. He went on and on during COVID about follow the science. We need vaccines, we need masks, we need social distancing. Kids have got to stay home from school, remote learning, all that stuff. Follow the science. But does he follow the science when it comes to ultrasound? Does he follow the science when it comes to DNA proof that the baby in the womb is a separate individual? Does he follow the science where doctors can perform fetal surgeries to correct problems in fetal development? Where is he following the science? He has his eyes completely closed when it comes to the science of fetal development. And obviously, he's got his eyes closed and his mind closed when it comes to the whole issue of transgender girls in sports and the unfairness of it. And they go on and on and on about the right of privacy, the right to control your own body, privacy. But what about a shy girl's right of privacy to not be forced to see some naked guy going through the girls' locker room? What about her privacy, her innocence? Come on, Joe, wake up, grow up, open your eyes. Okay, with that, I will let you go, and I'll see you next time.